All right, I just want to understand something really quick. Donald J. Trump is a self-made billionaire. This is the story. This is the MO that MAGA has fallen in love with, and for some reason believes he can solve all the problems in this world. Now, if he is a billionaire and he believes and lives and dies by the Constitution, riddle me this, bad man. He has been begging for money since day one. He has been doing campaign rallies not only before he became president, legitimately or non-legitimately, but throughout his presidency. He has done more campaign rallies than any other president in history. Most of these campaign rallies were not even paid for. When you put on a rally, you put on a concert, you put on a festival in a town, you have to pay that town, you have to pay that city for the police, for the fire, for all the public servants that work at your rally. He hasn't paid those bills. Just like back in the day in the 80s, 90s, he didn't pay his subcontractors, he didn't pay his employees, he didn't pay a lot of people in his life. Well, he's not paying these cities either. Just like he didn't pay Rudy Giuliani or Michael Cohen or anyone else. I mean, he did pay his porn star at his Playmate, and he paid a couple other people to keep him quiet. But the bottom line is this billionaire who swore he didn't need anything from anybody, and he won't answer to anything from anybody, and he will run his campaign on his own dime because he is a billionaire, claims, screams, prays, begs, over and over and over again, almost on a weekly basis with a new grift for money from people who barely have enough to survive as it is. And these people send these money to him because they believe for some reason he represents something they desperately need, or that he understands what they're going through and that he's one of them. What I need to rain down and let everybody know is not only does he not know how it is to be any of us, even if you're a millionaire, he still doesn't remember that level of poverty. Because this man was making $200,000 a year at 3 years old. That is just a fact. That has been proven. So at 5 years old, he was already a millionaire. 8 years old, he was already a millionaire. $200,000 a year, starting at 3 years old. Now you tell me again that he knows exactly how you feel. You tell me again that a guy who literally shits in gold-plated toilets knows how you feel. A guy who can jump in a plane and go anywhere he wants just as easy as you can fire up your 72 Pinto and go where the hell you want. The bottom line is there is nothing in this man's world ever that relates to you. And the propaganda and the promises he's making to you, he does not keep, even if he swears he does from the podium. If there is something that resembles a temporary benefit like the tax cuts for the people who aren't, in the top 1%, they run out and they're temporary just long enough to convince you that he's working for you. For instance, those tax cuts that everyone was so damn happy about ran out in 2021. Now ask yourself why Donald J. Trump would put such a beautiful thing for the 99% of people, not only MAGA, but the poor people in this world who actually struggle every damn day of their lives, that all of their benefits on his tax bill run out in 2021. Now, what happened in January of 2021? The worst case scenario was he could have started his second term and the tax benefits ran out. Do you think he would give a shit enough to renew the tax breaks for the lower class, for the 99%, and that is lower class to him? The 1% is the only class that matters. Do you think they would have been renewed? And if you swear that he would have made them better, why didn't he do it when he signed his first tax bill, when he had the Congress, the Senate, and him, all Republican up and down? Why wasn't anything done with that? Why wasn't anything done about the border? Anything more done about the border. Not the stuff that he did that actually made a difference. That was because of COVID, had nothing to do with immigration. Why didn't he do any of that stuff when he had all the power in the world and both the House and the Senate on his side that would have voted for anything he asked for? Why don't you have a new healthcare system since Obamacare was such shit and nobody wants it and it's not good for anybody? Why don't you have that improvement? Why isn't the education system improved? Because absolutely, Betsy DeVos, the billionaire and heiress to what, the ketchup company, is an expert in education. Why didn't any of that improve when all that power was in his hands? And on the other side of things, why wasn't Hunter Biden's laptop and all that smoking gun evidence that was in their possession through his entire presidency when he had the DOJ and everybody in his back pocket, why wasn't anything done about it then? Same with Hillary Clinton's smoking gun, Obama's smoking gun, he's going to jail evidence. Why wasn't anything ever done? Why doesn't MAGA place logic in any of those equations? Why doesn't they just, and if they don't want to listen to any of that, they don't want to put 1 ounce of thought into any of those points, let's go back to the original. He's a billionaire who begs for your money and is now selling Bibles that are sticky pages that sometimes you can't even open if they're in heat. Bibles that were printed a long time ago from an organization in something that didn't quite make it, that he bought at a discount and is now selling for $60 a Bible. That's your billionaire who doesn't need anything from anybody. The billionaire who can't be bought is selling himself every week. Gold, high-top sneakers. Really? Where's that health care? Where's that infrastructure? Where's that wall? Did he get Mexico's check yet? Wake the fuck up, MAGA. Wake up. He's not who he pretends to be, and that Republican Party that you loved for decades and decades is a totally different party. And if you have any women in your life that you give two shits about, and you're still voting Republican, you're not only betraying your country, but you're betraying every one of those women. You're betraying them. Because he says so. What kind of freedom is that? Freedom to what? Follow somebody who's trying to destroy the lives of somebody you care about? Someone you may care about? Someone you used to care about? How about just this? How about every woman in this country? The Republican side of the ticket is stripping rights from. There are Republicans elected that say on camera, on a microphone, on a public platform, that they want it to go back to women not having the right to vote, not having the right to get divorced, not having the right to choose what happens with their own bodies. That's what your Republicans are voting for now, coast to coast. And that's a fact. Look it up. But for God's sakes, this country is at a tipping point. You need to start putting logic someplace that you've never put logic before in your life. And that's politically. And you need to start applying logic and researching one step farther than you already do. Because the bottom line is, all it takes is one epiphany, one realization that you may just be incorrect about something before it's too late. We all make mistakes. It's just being human. Hopefully we all learn from our mistakes. There's still time. Votes haven't been cast yet. So think about things seriously before you cast yours. Because it doesn't just hurt us, it hurts everyone all over the world. So be diligent, be educated, and be kind. We're in this together.